Hey guys, let me get this stuff out of the way here. So, I haven't done this stuff in a while. Some of this content I tried to do on my tablet, but didn't work, so I gotta do it on my phone here. So, interesting thing. So a friend of mine gave me a 3D printer, so that was pretty cool. And then I just went nuts. I started 3D printing like everything I could, and so that's a lot of fun. Now I understand these gloves look a little weird. But they were just the closest gloves that I had were not winter gloves. On hand, I don't have any of the cloth museum guide gloves, so I got the thug gloves. So the reason I'm wearing gloves is because some of the things I'm going to be showing you are not very great paint-wise. I need to put clear coat on some of these, and sometimes the paint rubs off on your hands, and sometimes it doesn't want to come off. So then you got like silver hands, and it's like looks weird. So the gloves will be a little bit easier because it gets on the tips. It doesn't really matter. These are more painting, dueling gloves rather than anything else. So there's a file for a 3D printed Darth Nihilus hilt. This is the original KOTOR 2-1, if I remember correctly. This is just the rectangle, not rectangle, dang it. The cylindrical one that does not have the really big round area in the center. This is just like kind of the normal KOTOR Darth Nihilus lightsaber that Shamim Mufajda has done some installations on. So I 3D printed it off. As you can see, the file is a little bit flawed. It's still under progress, I think. So the actual threading did not really work so well, but it does thread in. This is the pommel. They don't line up so great because the threading kind of gets a little wonky when you're 3D printing it. Area for a 12mm switch. I actually had to hollow that out, but that does fit a blade. So this is a 3D printed Darth Nihilus hilt, and this is just obviously the early prototype. But it's pretty cool, you know, especially because he kind of duels one-handed, so this looks pretty cool. So I wanted to kind of take this time to show you guys some of the stuff that I've 3D printed, lightsaber-wise, because it will go along with stuff on my channel. Right here, I know I had mentioned to a couple people about this. This is a replica Ben Solo hilt that I've 3D printed. As you can see, the section I printed is green. Let me pull off this piece here. The file is actually in 4 pieces, or in one solid piece. Mine only prints to about 8 inches, I think, so it's a Monoprice V2, Maker 2. But anyway, so in theory, if you are able to adjust the files a bit, you could duel with this. This fits a 1-inch blade really nicely, and I did a kind of like a weathered pattern on there, painted some of it, and kind of left some areas black so you can kind of rub off on it. It looks a little bit like a Saber Forge weathering job. And so the piece is pretty big in the hand, but the real one really is too. The actual file it's based off of, and it's a nice piece. As you can kind of see where you can thread it on there, and 16mm switch. The guy, this is the file from Broken Nerd. He did a Ben Solo. Well, he didn't post that one. It's on Thingiverse. Now, none of this stuff I came up with myself, because coming up with 3D printed files is kind of tricky. It takes a long time to come up with files. So in a while, I probably will come up with my own files. But for now, I'm just showing you guys stuff that I found off of Thingiverse and Tinkercad and such. This is the Ben Solo pommel. I did not get the chance to finish printing that, unfortunately. But it was like 98% done. So that's an area on there. But you can see it's very, very accurate, and it looks like metal, other than the round pattern from the 3D printer. Here is the actual greebly section. It's printed off all the wonderful, nice details, and that just slides down there like that. And here is your body piece. This, my box of lightsaber. Don't go anywhere, Darth Vader lightsaber. This right here is a Nano Biscotti V3 chassis I printed off in lime green. And that, ironically, is a perfect fit for the Ben Solo body. So in theory, just because a part, just using parts off of Thingiverse, you could, in theory, kind of print a whole Ben Solo fully functional lightsaber. This piece goes in here, which then is supposed to be threaded on with a screw. and then right there, and so you have a whole Ben Solo lightsaber. I have an Arctic Blue LED, so I will be installing this and working on this for a little while. I'm not sure when I will be done with it, but it'll definitely be a project I'll definitely be working on. I 3D printed a saber stand and painted it in a bronze color, and so that looks pretty cool. It, you can see, works nicely for the Darth Nihilus hilt. So this project, the Darth Vader salvage lightsaber, this is a Hasbro Anakin to Darth Vader blade emitter. It's a blade plug that I inserted. Now, other than this piece here and the blade plug, everything else is 3D printed. These grips, these T-grips, are 3D printed. And then I spray painted them in a gloss black to look more like the rubber or hard plastic grips that you see. The control box is the exact same thing. It's been printed in black PLA and then spray painted with gloss coating. This piece I need to spray paint. This is a more recent piece. This is this piece here for the clamp control area. And then I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with the clamp card yet. It looks kind of neat, being like a neon orange, but I'll probably paint that as well. But it fits in there nicely. And so that is the Darth Vader I mean, it can have electronics in it. Just for now, I'm leaving it kind of a static display prop. And you see it's heavily weathered. Actually using an old Maglite for the hilt. And so it can fit electronics and stuff. And so it looks pretty cool as well. So now moving on to some of the other stuff. I 3D printed an Imperial symbol keychain. So that's really cool. Always very helpful. Some of these other pieces are... I'll start pulling the gloves off because some of them have like the little what do you call them? Little pieces that stick off. They're rough edge pieces. So I got a whole box of these pieces. I basically went and printed off a bunch of like original trilogy stuff. This is a non-painted black PLA clamp card, and this I believe actually can fit a replica lightsaber, I believe. And so this is one of my favorite pieces I printed off. This piece here goes on like this. That is a control box as well. I was able to print off, and they're delicate pieces too. Some bunny ears. They're not great, but they're very nice. And Darth Vader emitter without the other piece. And then these have been modified for a Sith lightsaber that I'm building. But these are 3D printed Jedi Fallen Order like emitter vanes, which then have been etched and shattered and such by me to fit a Sith lightsaber. I got a couple other things in here. Let's see. Just kind of a couple different styles of grip that I was able to print off. Put this one right there. Like I said, I printed off just a boatload of lightsaber parts. It was a lot. Oh, come on. Okay. There we go. I dropped it. So this is another Darth Vader piece right here. Right here is another black T-grip. These are Anakin grips, I want to say. This printed off beautifully, by the way. PLA T-grip. And then I printed off these, which are Return of the Jedi Darth Vader grips, I want to say. T-grips. I don't know. Some of you guys out there own replicas, multiple, so you guys might be able to recognize those. So yeah, and this was a start of a Nihilus hilt. You can see the threading and everything. And I printed it in colors I didn't really care about. That way you're going to paint it over anyway. So yeah, so it's still very much a work in progress. 3D printing stuff. But in time, I think I'll probably take advantage of the 3D printer and start 3D printing lightsabers to sell. I need to get permission from this guy on Tinkercad, I believe. On Tinkercad, this guy basically went and he copied, I want to say like 10 individual pieces from the Saberforge ASP line, including a Venom emitter, and a bunch of other really cool pieces. And he made it so that it used a 3D printed lightsaber that you could install with Saberforge, ASP, or plug-and-play electronics. With his permission, I may print some of those off and then do custom paint jobs and customize them, and then sell those on an Etsy store for people to then put in their plug-and-play electronics. And you got, you know, what would be like a $235 hilt for like $30, you know, just plastic. But yeah, so I know some of you guys wanted to see this, so like I said, this is an upcoming project, and I'll be working on Ben Solo's lightsaber. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. You know, just showing you guys some of the stuff I was able to make. Now, by the way, just in case anyone's wondering, this is an incredibly solid piece. Really nicely printed, very thick. Infill is almost 100% on this piece, the way it was designed. And so it is a very, very thick piece. And I would say you could duel with the Ben Solo lightsaber, depending on the way that I build it. And then this is more of a static prop. You know, I probably won't really do much with this one. You know, so. And then, let me pull this off here. This is the pommel to my Darth Vader lightsaber. And you can see it's the PVC that I almost always use anyway for my lightsabers. And so that way you could install it with electronics. And then you can kind of, hello, kind of see through there. Right there. And so, an old Maglite hilt, you know, it was either going to use it for something, you know, like a normal flashlight, or convert it. And I've seen people convert Maglite style pieces of metal into lightsabers. So this is kind of my Darth Vader kind of mock replica. You know, it's pretty decent size, not pretty accurate to his hilt in size. So, yep. So I just wanted to show you guys that, yeah. So this was a pretty out of the blue video, so I did not have much dialogue planned out for this. Pretty much just showing you guys the power of a 3D printer, you know, like little components like that and such. So, yeah. So I'll probably be doing a couple more, probably doing the occasional 3D printing video, whether it's a time lapse of a cool hilt or something, or showing off a new saber that I've printed off. You can print off a bunch of stuff off the Thingiverse. Now, I would just be very careful in terms of if you want somebody to 3D print something for you. Like, my local library has a 3D printer. And so I was originally, before this friend gave me his 3D printer a while back, I was thinking about getting the library to print this off for me. Only problem is they were going to charge $25 to print that off. And you never know, because they were so busy, you never know when you were going to get it. So I opted to wait, and it was a good thing, because then I could just print it off myself. And I would not have paid $25 for the way this prototype came out. Obviously, you can fine-tune it so that it looks a lot better, which I will do. But if it had come out like this, then it really wouldn't have been worth $25. So just looking at how long these pieces took, you know, if that was $25, this one would probably be like $35 or $40. You know, and if you have a 3D printer, then you can always reprint pieces and, you know, make stuff like that. So, yep, just wanted to show you guys that, you know, see what you guys thought. If you liked this video, please leave a like down below. If there's something that you liked from this box, or something that you thought was really cool, and you wanted to know more about it, or wanted to say that you liked it, you could always shoot me a comment down in the comments below, and I'll go ahead and answer as soon as I can. And yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys want me to do more videos like this showing just random 3D printed things, you know, mainly Star Wars related, holocrons, blasters, stuff like that, then you know, just shoot me a comment down in the comment section below, and I will answer you as soon as I can. So, thank you very much for watching, and have a good day.